Cool. You ready?
Yeah, well, why don't you just turn it this way and then you can see yourself?
No, because I don't want to hold it.
Yeah, but even if.
So what we're just doing a demo. So, hello everyone. Benjamin Elias here from Tce Tv. Today I have the renowned Marcus Samuel Fields,
Yes.
straight from Arkansas and Victorville.
There you gotta have lights.
Oh yeah, put some lights. Yeah. So, Marcus, I read a little bit about your biography and everything like that. What motivated you to start the Click Experts?
Well, what motivated me most to start the Click Experts was a need for independence. I knew I wanted to be a CEO, but did I want to actually go to corporate America and wait in line for 20 years and kiss a lot of booty and, those types of things? No. So
Not a fan of the booty, huh?
No, not a fan of the booty. Not a fan of any booty, not a pirate, none of that. So I said, let me just start a company and let me just build it from the ground up, and I will always have a job. And regardless of whether it was going to become successful or not, I would learn something.
Yeah. A lot of people have problems with failure and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So was there a moment or what sparked it? Like, do you remember the day that you started the company? Is there something that happened that day or the week before?
Well,
like, what birthed it, leading up?
What actually started the company, I had it in my mind for a number of years while working at other companies that I wanted to be independent. And I think it just came to the point where when I had enough money to kind of sustain myself for a number of years or really a number of months and still put money into my company, I just did it.
Bam. So you started it, and you started with a co-founder, is that correct?
Yes. Chuck Temple.
Yeah. And what did the first week look like after you guys created this thing?
A complete mess. A complete mess. So, but that's how it always looks.
Yeah.
With every company.
Yeah. What do you have a specific story that kind of captures the mess or the craziness, the havoc? If you could tie that up into also to failure. What do you think of failure? A lot of people are afraid of failure, and they're afraid of looking bad to themselves, looking bad to their family, to the friends, to just the community.
Well, the story behind that is that I actually I was sleeping in my office. I had a little side blow-up bed. And I slept there, and I would take showers and stuff at 24 Hour Fitness. So I did that to save money, plus a weird thing happened to where the place I was staying at before that, actually there was a drug dealer in there.
Okay.
And he was growing pot plants. And
in your office building?
No, not in the office building. This was before I moved to the office building, I actually had a place, and I had a roommate.
Oh, is it San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego.
Okay.
And this guy who had a room down the hall upstairs for me was a drug dealer. And
high tech. He was doing high tech.
Yeah, he was doing the high tech, and he was growing pot plants. And then the neighbors were starting to call the police. So I said to myself, okay, I got to get out of here, and I could save some money at the same time in my office, and then I'll save some money up, and then I'll move into my own place. And then I moved over there, stayed over there, went back to get my stuff, and the whole place had been raided by the police.
Oh, they took your computers?
They took a bunch of stuff, but I was able to get it back.
Okay.
But they raided the police. They took one guy to jail, and I don't know what happened to the drug dealer guy, but I just heard one of the other guys down there went to jail, and I got out of there just in time. So then the Click Extras was birthed by avoiding a tragedy.
So there was this moment in your life, like, okay, federal penitentiary or business, independent, being independent.
I know just being here is going to get me in trouble, especially if the police bust in here. Let me go stay in my office.
Because this was your house, so then you decided to stay in your office.
Yeah, right? I started living in my office after that.
Who was your first customer?
First customer was this company that did printing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say the name, but it was a printing company in San Marcos, and I remember getting them as a client, and we worked well together, and they did pretty well.
So you called him up. How did you first meet the guy? You know, a lot of people are interested in the first.
Oh, well, I first
business
met the
success.
guy through a connection. Uh, Actually, we would partner up with these IT guys because people seem to confuse IT and software.
Right.
So they were like, they asked IT guy, can you build them a website? And they asked me if I can work on their computer and hardware. So one's hardware, one's software. So we kind of worked businessy like that. People who would ask me for IT stuff, I'd send to him. People that would ask him for web design stuff, he'd send to me.
Okay. And so basically, it was a referral from an IT guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cool. So you walked in there. The CEO. Have you met him before? You didn't know who the CEO was.
I had never met him before. So.
And how did that conversation go with him?
Just asked him what he needed. He needed a website and he needed to some more business. So that's what we got him.
Bam. And do you remember like your first customer? And you know, there's always risk because basically he's like, did you tell him, hey, we're a new company. You're gonna be our first customer, or you kind of played it like, this has been a long established company for 2 weeks, and
yeah. Well, what I did was, I wasn't gonna. If he'd have asked me if we were new, I would have said yeah, we're new. But he never asked. He was just more like, it was more like the credibility was there because of the person that referred us.
Right. Okay.
So, it was just about performance. So once he got us, he loved his website and he loved the performance of it. So
less is more.
Exactly.
You don't gotta. You don't gotta share all you know.
Yeah, it's like what do you do? Are you good at it? Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, okay, good. So he approved everything.
What advice would you give to all the people out there in YouTube land and video land, and people are gonna see this? I don't know, in like 600 years if YouTube's still around. What advice? Like if you could go back to your younger self, maybe they could learn it. Through kind of what you would have told your younger self. If you could go back in time, hop in the magical time machine, and just kind of give 2 or 3 tips, or what not to do, or what definitely to focus on, kind of the beginning where everything's hazy. In hindsight's 2020. If you had those magic powers to go back in time, and just kind of whisper in the ear to yourself. Not that maybe young Marcus would listen to old Marcus, but what would you say?
I think the main thing I would say, which is stuff you hear all the time, is work smart and work hard. That's pretty generic, but work smart, work hard, and work hard and smart every day until you build an empire. Like don't take any vacations. Don't make a deal, then go celebrate. Just keep going as hard as you can and build the company up for a few years until you take a vacation. And that's the only way you're really going to make it work.
Marcus, man, come on. We're trying to sell the dream here, 4-hour work week. Come on, man. Toe the party line on this one,
Yeah.
No, but actually I think the advice you're giving is actually refreshing, because you do have a lot of so-called lifestyle, be your own boss types who, they're really freelancers and unemployed at Starbucks or something. And they don't have the drive and determination that I've seen you have to just build the sucker up from scratch. And don't take vacation the first year, or the first 2 years, or the first 3 years. Like it's not going to kill you, right?
Yeah.
And if you're really determined to actually build a real company, maybe that's exactly the kick in the pants, and the truthfulness that you actually need to know to stay competitive in this industry. What's your lifestyle now with this work? Now you put your time in, you worked it, you didn't take the vacation. Now, how many years has it been?
Going on 10 years.
10 years. And how many hours a week do you dedicate to the Click Experts now?
Nowhere near as many. I'm getting more involved in other ventures. I need to probably go back and start expanding Click Experts, because it can be so much more. It can be much bigger. And probably going to end up doing that through the next year. I know it's a lot of things that are out there. Social media, we've actually changed our platform from focusing on websites to focusing on software development. So the company has changed a lot through the years to where we started off only doing websites and only doing online marketing, PPC, and SEO. We're at the point now where SEO is pretty much dying, PPC is it, and software development of apps um, is a huge deal now.
Is the future.
Definitely the future.
So it seemed that you built it for a couple of years. It kind of reached a stability point, with all the client contracts.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're kind of reinventing the game after getting exposure to other industries. But just to give the audience an indicator of, I guess in the beginning was what, 80-hour work weeks, 90-hour work weeks,
Do
300-hour work weeks,
Do 1,000 if you can.
1,000-hour work weeks. But today, or maybe not today, but like a month ago, how many hours a week were you dedicating to keeping the Click Experts ship running, just to kind of give people kind of how hard work pays off?
Now it's more of an offhands thing. I don't really do as much anymore. In the beginning, you have to work that many hours because you have to do everything. You don't have money to hire people. You have to do your own accounting. You have to do your own programming. You have to do your own PPC account management. Everything has to be yourself. Now I don't do any of that. I'm more of just making sure everybody gets paid and make sure customers are happy from the back end. Customers probably don't even know I even exist, which is exactly how I like it. A few of them do from the earlier days of almost 10 years ago. We had clients we've had for like almost 10 years, but other ones, they don't know who I am, and that makes it to where I can operate much more efficiently without interference from a client that just wants to talk directly to me. Because usually, if they started with me and they know me from the beginning of years ago, they're going to always want to talk directly to me. So now it's more of a freedom from that.
So you went from busy bee business owner to free entrepreneur. You were a manager, you were the technician, you were a manager, and you were able to kind of fire yourself.
Yeah, I was the manager, the technician, and the entrepreneur. So I was all of them. Now I can just be the entrepreneur.
In light of our new president, you're fired. But I guess when you're the owner and the entrepreneur, it's kind of cool to fire yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but you didn't completely fire yourself. You work couple hours a month?
Yes. And
5-10 hours a month, maybe.
Yeah, and when we get to expansion, through probably the fourth quarter of this year and the first quarter of next year, the hours go up as we expand our
2,000 hours a week. How about that? Yeah.
2,000 hours a week is where it's going to be. Probably just making sure everything works well as we expand, because when you expand a company and you're doing new things and you're trying new marketing and you're hiring new people, it's always shaky. But luckily we have a great team involved right now that makes sure everything goes smoothly.
Now, Marcus, you've always been, even before the company and Click Experts, you've always had great advice to share. Great kind of you're a great observer of people and people situations, conflictual people situations, and whether it was Joel back in the day, or Steve, or a bunch of other friends, even before the business, when we were more playing business and actually doing business, you always had great just kind of one-liners, or kind of, hey, here, let me sit you down real quick and let me explain something to you, kind of thing. Where did you learn that from? Did someone sit you down, or did someone? Do you have a mentor? I guess, do you have a mentor that you look up to, or maybe a group of mentors that you look up to? And what's the best advice they ever shared to you that you kind of live through every day and you try to share to others?
Well, a big thing was, if you can find a mentor, that's probably the best thing you can do, because you'll learn very quickly. I wasn't able to really find a mentor. So where I got my information was just in books. Reading books, just as many books as possible that dealt with what I wanted to do. And once I read that information, I kind of had a bit of an arsenal to actually go out and do what I wanted. So mainly just came from books.
You have your top 3 favorite books?
Um, I think a really important one is Think and Grow Rich. That's extremely important. You just have to read it, and everyone gets something different out of it. But the main idea is just to stay focused and believe in what you're doing. That's going to succeed, and whatever happens, keep going. That's more of a motivational book. Another book would be The E-Myth. That's actually more construction, as far as knowing how to actually make your company, knowing what's going to happen ahead of time, and being prepared for it, getting your manager, your entrepreneur, and your technician all involved, which is extremely vital to starting a small business. You have to know that stuff. That's a very important book. Another really good book was The Power of Broke. The Power of Broke is very important. It's a good book. You read it, it gives you good insight on just about how to handle being broke, how that motivates you, how to keep going with everything. It's a feel-good book where you're reading it, and while you're broke, you're like, okay, well, this person went through it too, just like I'm going through it.
Right. So you kind of feel connected. You're not all alone. Many other entrepreneurs who have made it and who are successful, kind of living out their dreams,
Mm-hmm.
they've kind of endured and suffered that same journey. It's just kind of part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What will you tell all the broke souls out there?
Enjoy being broke, because the fun part is actually getting up there. When you get up there, not to say that I'm at the top right now and I'm still climbing myself, but this is the times to enjoy it. It's the fun part. It's why you do it in the first place. It's conquering your fears, and then becoming that person you thought of. And when you become that person you thought you would be, the feeling's probably going to be a little bit different. You're probably going to want more. But either way, enjoy going up.
Cool. To everyone watching this, where else do they learn about you or learn about your company?
Well, they can learn about the company at theclickexperts.com. I'm probably going to be nowhere on there, but I want the message to be more about the company than me. So.
Cool. In true E-Myth fashion, right? Did you ever meet Michael Gerber?
No, you met him.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd love to meet Michael Gerber one day.
Let's go to his house.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah. Bam. Let's go right now. All right. Well, thank you very much, Marcus, for kind of sharing your precious bits of wisdom on your entrepreneurial journey and making it. I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching. This is Benjamin Elias with Tce TV. Cool. Oh, it recorded the whole thing. 18 minutes.